everybody, and welcome back to the channel. It's your girl Lori, and I'm here with another series. What's that series, you ask? Huh? I'll tell you. It's the expectation series. We're going to have 5 videos. I'm going to talk to you about various levels of expectations that you carry on yourself that you think other people inflict on you, or that you carry on other people. So I figure, you know what? Yes, I have podcasts coming out on it, but I feel like this was good. I feel like especially now around the holiday, it's a great time. And that's actually what we're going to talk about today. I had done a short form video over on TikTok, and I do one around this time every year just to remind people that you don't have to show up for the holiday if you feel the need to be inebriated or to make like, oh my God, I got to get myself prepared to go. Like, you don't need to do that. So I was like, you know what? This seems important to start with expectations. But today's expectation on the expectation video, what the hell? It's Monday. Good morning, good afternoon, and how the hell are you? Right? So yeah, but the first one that I want to do is that in itself. 90% of where you struggle is this level of expectation that you don't just put on from other people. So the first one I'm going to put on is this expectation that you see on the news, on social media, especially on social media, and even just external stuff, right? So I want to talk to you about your media consumption. And this is important, right? Because there's this expectation that you carry that goes into comparison, right? So if you're looking at somebody's Instagram, somebody's TikTok, somebody's Facebook, whatever, right? And you're looking at it and all you kind of see is what their highlight reel is. Remember, I've told you that's everybody's highlight reel, right? So you're looking at it, but you're only looking at it from your perspective on what you think you see, right? You're seeing it and then you're creating that storyline in your head, right? So let's say somebody has overnight success. 99.9% of the times, that's not overnight success. Now, they could be working hard, and then all of a sudden they get a big break, but that doesn't mean that they weren't working hard. And a lot of if they just like randomly get selected, there's a lot that comes along with that. So because it's always going to be the journey. So if you're expecting yourself to be 26, 27, 29, 30, whatever age that you're doing, and you're expecting yourself to have your life together, whatever that means, have your career focused on, have your finances straight, be married, and all those things. Wow, that's a really high expectation. Stop thinking that it's done on everybody else, not on your time. You think it's done on everybody else's time, or this weird thing where you feel like you're constantly running out of time. Well, you don't have time any other time but today, like right now. Not even today, the second. See, time is linear. It doesn't exist in any other realm but right this second. Right? So if you're looking at yourself and you're expecting, and you got to tamper those down, because those expectations, and then we're going to talk a lot about it this week, those expectations are going to be like a gut punch for you, because you're always raising this bar really high. It's great to want to achieve things. It's great to want to grow. It's great to have goals. But you know what? If you're not willing to do the grunt work, if you're not willing to do those baby steps, take steps back, realize that you're going to fail, realize you're going to take risks, realize just because you're 27 years old and you're not married yet and you're not even dating, that's okay. That's okay. Now, this is where we're going to bring in other people. Okay. So now let's say you're 28, 29, whatever, 30, 35, doesn't matter. And you've been seeing your partner for like 5 years and you're fine with it the way it is. You're like, listen, it's great. Listen, maybe we're married, maybe we're not. I don't think we're ever going to have kids. It's fine. But everybody around you is having kids. Your parents are like, are you going to have any grandkids for me? Okay, never have kids for another person, like ever. Let them just be severely disappointed. You'll be fine. Okay, so the expectation in which you're carrying from what you see and the idea of what you see when you see somebody succeeding, but you don't know the stories. You're not living in that person's head. So you want to watch your media consumption, and you want to watch anything that's going on around you that makes you feel bad, right? Like makes you feel bad about yourself. They're not meaning to, by the way. You're allowed. People can post whatever they want. So if you have $80,000 million, I don't know that's a real number, but it is now. If you have $80,000 million, right, and you're out living your best life, good, post it. Post it. If other people feel some kind of way because you're posting your successes, that's on them. But now, if you notice that seems to bother you, or you seem to feel less about yourself, right? Then you don't follow it. That's the beautiful thing about stopping doom scrolling, having a set time on your social media. You guys know I used to spend an hour on socials. Now I only spend about 45 minutes, minus Sunday and Tuesday when I do my lives. I do a lot of prep work behind the scenes, but to sit and scroll, it's just a waste of energy for me. I like to do it for like a few minutes and that's it. But that's because I know that if I sit there, I know me well enough to know I'm going to start looking up one thing, and next thing I know, I'm watching turtles cross the street and figuring out what people do with passed away turtles. Like, this is now the story. And now it's 7 hours later. It's not really helping or like being productive for me. So you have to know that, and you have to be willing to say, if I have this expectation that I need to have my life together, be married, be this person, know what it means. I know, because I write about it a little bit in the book, where turning 30, my birthday's April. So that year that I was turning 30, I'm 51 now, but that year that I was turning 30, it was the only year that I really struggled a little bit with my birthday. Not my birthday itself, but turning 30, because in my brain, I had that weird vision that at 30, you're supposed to have your life together. 30 seemed like, it's funny now, at 51, thinking 30 seemed older, but whatever. At that time, 30 seemed older, and it, like, I was supposed to have it together, and I was supposed to have my love life together and my finances and my business. No, none of those things were a thing. But because other people around me had it, it became a little bit like, damn, am I like really behind the 8 ball here? I'm not. You're not. You're not. But if you know that those expectations, like, you're putting these weird expectations that you always have to achieve these things, you're never going to take the time to reflect in the rearview mirror to say, wow, I really did succeed. I've really done some successes here. I've survived 1,000% of my bad days. Wow, I did it. Well, you're not even going to see that. And you're always going to be chasing something to make you happy. Stop chasing external things to make you happy. You got to pause, baby. The power of the pause is facts. Not only do you pause, you do look back in reflection of where you came from. Not what you could have done, not what you should have done, none of that. But you want to take that reflection. So those expectations that you're supposed to achieve something in a certain amount of time, hard pass here. No. Okay. That's this like weird narrative that you're telling yourself. And because you're setting that bar so high, listen, sometimes you're going to think that you might be in a relationship that you think, well, I guess this is who I'm having kids with. Why? You don't have to. You don't have to be with that person. I promise you this, in many cases, you'd much rather be alone for a good period of time so you can work on yourself than ever bring something into a relationship. And that's where you're going to talk about relationships and expectations too, because hard pass on that. But that's coming up in a different video. But yeah, so I want you, your little homework here is to be mindful of what it is that you're consuming. Be mindful of what you're seeing, and realize that what you're seeing, you don't put your internal dialogue on somebody else's life, because you're not them and they're not you, right? So watch what you're consuming. Seriously, watch what you're consuming. Watch what you are absorbing. Watch what you're listening to, right? So it isn't even just about video. It's also about audible. Like, what are you hearing? What are you listening to? If you feel the need to watch, say, politics, right? I'm super not a political girl, but let's say you were watching politics and you were like super irritated. It's good to have knowledge. No need to get annoyed by it. I mean, it is what it is. Like, you can only do what you can do. But if you know that you're constantly looking at other people who think opposite of you, and you're trying to dissect and trying to get irritated by all of that, what are you hoping to achieve there? To be right? Because you can be right or you can be happy, but you can't be both. And everybody has a right to think differently than you. Yeah, that's right. Your expectations of everybody being you is going to be our very next topic tomorrow. So I want you to understand that not everybody is you, and that's okay. That is okay. And I promise I have a podcast coming on that. So it's like a lot more lengthy. And it'll go even more into detail with these expectations. But I wanted to have like 5 videos so you could watch and you can come back and realize, listen, stop complaining about social media and then you're on it. Like, be on it and follow things that move the needle, follow things that give you a sense of power or acknowledges you. Yes, but don't follow things just to follow it so you can get irritated, so you can get a rise out of yourself. For what reason? What are you hoping to achieve there? And that's a question for yourself. If it isn't serving you, it's okay to distance. Don't get caught up in that FOMO, fear of missing out. No, you have two choices. Sure, stay in it and be like, stressed, or pull back. But take the expectations of social media, and what the world thinks that you're supposed to be doing. You don't have to conform to that. I mean, we got to do some things we don't feel like doing because that's life, but not when it comes to your peace. So that's the first video on expectations.